Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, this is going to be the first ever guide video that I have made in this channel. So now yes, let's go to the topic. So for today's guide is about Battle Royale in Call of Duty Mobile in Season 9 to 10. So yes, there's already lots of guide videos out there for Battle Royale, and I decided to make one because I really want to. It just looks interesting to make. So here we go. So in every single BR game, you'll obviously start in the lobby with that huge ticking timer. All you can do in the lobby is, well, wait, or just shoot anything that you find there and not kill anybody. Mostly, you can just shoot around the guns in the lobby to, well, kill some time. Or just do some emotes to impress some of the players in there, which will mostly be like bots, depending on your rank. So, well, once the timer goes down and the plane animation starts happening, then here goes the map. So there's like many places on the map. There's like places on the map that has yellow in their names. Like, let's just say this map here. This name of the map, this part of the map, has the color yellow. This means that this map is a high tier zone. High tier zones are mostly filled with lots of good loot, possibly legendary weapons. But the problem is, mostly high tier zones like these are mostly filled with actual players that can shoot. It really depends on your rank really. If you're high tier rank, like around like pro to legendary, you might go against good players there. But if you're around rookie to elite, you're not gonna be going against that much of a challenge there. So if you want to risk it, then go ahead. And there's also places here, apart from these high tier zones, like this platform here. This platform is mostly like the high tier zones. But unlike the high tier zones, this thing is a lot more risky. It's mostly because this floating platform keeps getting invaded by lots of players every time in the start of a match. Because, well, it's a freaking platform with lots of good loot. Way more compact than these high tier zones. So if you're like a low tier rookie rank guy, do not go there. And please just go to the tier zones that aren't near to any high tier zones, like let's just say this zone, which has an upgrade station on it, with the square on it. So now let's stick to the point of where we should drop. If you're a rookie, or just a guy that doesn't really know how to aim that well, or move that well, go to these low tier zones. And recommended that you go to these low tier zones with upgrade stations. These zones are less likely to be invaded by high tier players. So at these type of maps, you might go against actual players, but mostly bots, or just nothing at all, than just the loot on the ground. So at these type of maps, you can basically just move around calmly, and grab anything you can. But if you're like a high tier player that is good at the ranks master to legendary, you can go to the high tier zones or the platform if you want. But be careful of the platform, because there might be players spamming that grenade launcher at you and killing you in seconds. Even though if the thing's pretty much nerfed already. So after you're done looting the place of any of the places you've chosen, go to an upgrade station to upgrade your gadget. So these upgrade stations are normally labeled in that square thing you see in the map. If they're not completely charged yet, they're mostly colored in around gray. If they're powered up and ready to be collected, it will be in purple. Once it's purple, you can go to the zones or well upgrade stations to collect the upgrade chips. These upgrade chips are used to upgrade your gadgets that you have equipped on your loadout. And these gadgets can be changed in the loadout These upgrade chips will basically give benefits to your gadgets, as what the upgrade name is. It could give like benefits that actually will benefit your class, or some that doesn't even really do much. Once you get the upgrade stations, now let's talk about airdrops. So airdrops are basically those high tier loot boxes that you find in Battle Royale games, like that loot box or airdrop from, well, PUBG and any other type of Battle Royale that has that. So this type of airdrop will mostly drop with adrenaline sticks, which will heal you up to 150 health. And well, yes, 150 health, and give you extra 50 health. And also that 50 health cannot be regenerated by normal means, and can only be regenerated by those adrenaline sticks. These airdrops are normally filled like these airdrops are also normally filled with like some legendary weapons. The legendary weapons that mostly drop in these airdrops are mostly the legendary weapons like the Tempest, the Annihilator, which is actually very good, the LK-24, the M4, that thermal scope Arctic 50, and that's it. And every airdrop also always includes itself with an FHJ. Like every airdrop that you see will always have the FHJ-18 rocket launcher on it, along with some backup rockets. This rocket launcher will be useful in endgame if you go against tanks. These airdrops also contains some gunsmith build classes. These classes can be edited in your loadout section, where you can just set up some builds where you can put in the airdrop. So basically, the gunsmith builds that you put on this part section of your loadout is in the airdrop. And you can only pick like one of those weapons that you set up per airdrop. You can get another one in the next airdrop. Now enough with the content of the airdrop. Now the things that you have to be aware of once getting the airdrop. For low tier players, well, they don't really have that much risk into going to airdrops, as they will not really go against that much of good players going against each other for that airdrop. But in high tier ranked, like around like pro to legendary, you'll have a lot more risks. Like for example, the airdrop will mostly be guarded by trip mines, or be guarded by a random camper that's hiding in a building, a wall, or just under some tall grass. So, in those high tier ranks, please look around the airdrop, so you won't be like killed by a camper or get killed by a trip mine. So now, onto the vehicles. As you know from Call of Duty Mobile's Battle Royale mode, there's a couple of vehicles. One of them is the motorcycle, which is basically that fast two-wheeled vehicle which everyone probably knows. It can do backflips and shit, and etc. Then you got the ATV, which is a fast four-wheeled vehicle, which is small and also kind of mobile, but has sensitive steering. So if you like to press those steering buttons for too long, well, you're gonna be up for a ride. And then you got the RRV, which is basically the ATV, but it's freaking wide and long. The ORV is basically a more stable ATV. It's slower though, but it can be more easily driven. And, and then you got the Antelope A20, or whatever the name is. It's basically an ORV or ATV, but it's more prone to flipping over. But it also has a Gatling gun in it, so if you're like playing duos or something, you can have one of your teammates manning the Gatling gun on the top, and with yourself driving, or the other way around. You also got the helicopter, which is a bit more rare than the other ones in this guide. The helicopter is pretty much the fastest transportation vehicle of all of them. It can fly to places very fast. It has a downside though. is easily shot down by FHJ-18 rockets. This mostly happens in high tier rank, like at somewhere in Pro to Legendary, and it's even more common for that to happen in squads. So if you're going to use the helicopter, don't use it until endgame, or well, you get shot down. And then the last vehicle in this guide, well, is the tank. The tank is basically an endgame vehicle, which sometimes drop from mid to end game. It's dropped like airdrops from the plane. This tank can be ridden by anyone. The tank is mostly the strongest vehicle in the game, and it's basically the first one to have a cannon, because well, it's a tank. The weapons it has is a 120mm smoothbore gun, and some sort of 50 cal machine gun on it. The amount of players you can fit in this tank is basically 3. One as the driver, one as some sort of, well, passenger, and one as the machine gunner. This tank is quite overpowered, but has its own weaknesses. Like, it's very weak to cluster bombs, and it has a very huge weak spot at the back, where it can be easily damaged there by an FHJ rocket. If you see one of these tanks anywhere being manned by a person, shoot it down immediately with an FHJ, if you don't want to suffer from it. Or you can just be an idiot and try to, like, well, ride the enemy tank. It's possible, but I don't know if it's worth it. So now, well, yes. Okay, so yeah, guys. So that's it for today's guide, my very first guide. I don't know if it's a guide anymore. So yes, thank you for like watching this video with some gameplay background behind it. Please like and subscribe, check these playlists here, and see you in the next video.